Welcome, dear listener. Tonight, we are going somewhere simple. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere warm. A small kitchen on a cold, rainy night. There is a soft light above the table. A kettle resting on the stove. Rain tapping gently on the window. And the smell of something warm and comforting slowly filling the room. There is no hurry in this story. No problem to solve. No place to reach. Only the soft rhythm of rain. The glow of lamplight. And the peaceful feeling of being indoors when the world outside is cold. So let yourself settle. Let your body become comfortable. Let the day move farther away. And allow this warm little kitchen to become a quiet place for your mind to rest. Take a slow breath in and gently let it go. Again. Breathe in softly and breathe out slowly. There is nothing you need to hold tightly right now. Whatever happened today, whatever is waiting tomorrow, can stay outside for a while. Like rain on the other side of a window. You can hear it. You can notice it. But you do not need to step into it. Let your forehead smooth. Let your eyes rest. Let your jaw soften. Your tongue can rest gently. Your shoulders can drop a little lower. Your arms can become heavy. Your hands can soften. Feel your chest rise and fall. Slowly. Naturally. Easily. Let your stomach relax. Let your back feel supported. Let your legs become still. Your knees. Your calves. Your ankles. Your feet. All of you resting. All of you safe. Imagine now that you are standing at the door of a small cottage on a cold night. The air outside is fresh and wet. Rain falls softly from the dark sky. Not a storm. Not loud rain. Just gentle winter rain. Falling on the roof. On the garden path. On the bare branches of trees. Through the window, you can see warm golden light. Inside, a kitchen is waiting. A quiet kitchen. A welcoming kitchen. A place where the kettle is warm. Where bread rests beneath a clean cloth. Where a chair has been pulled close to the table. Just for you. Take another slow breath in. And breathe out. Good. Now open the door in your mind. Step inside. And let the story begin. At the edge of a sleepy village, down a narrow lane lined with old stone walls, there stood a little cottage with a red front door and a crooked chimney. The cottage belonged to a woman named Nora. Nora was not old, but she had the calm manner of someone who knew how to move through life slowly. She did not rush her tea. She did not hurry her bread. She did not mind if a rainy evening took its time becoming night. Her cottage was small, with 2 rooms downstairs and a little bedroom tucked under the roof. But the heart of the cottage was the kitchen. It had a wooden table near the window. A wide stone sink. A black iron stove. A shelf lined with jars of oats, flour, tea leaves, cinnamon, dried apples, and golden honey. Copper pans hung along one wall, polished until they reflected the firelight in soft orange shapes. On the windowsill were 3 small pots of herbs, rosemary, thyme, and mint. Their leaves were dark and glossy in the cold season, but still fragrant when touched. This particular night was the coldest evening of the week. Outside, rain had been falling since sunset. It slid down the kitchen window in thin silver lines. It gathered in little puddles along the garden path. It tapped gently on the roof, like patient fingers. Inside, The kitchen was warm. The stove glowed. The kettle gave a quiet hum. And Nora stood at the table, rolling dough with slow, even movements. She was making small honey oat rolls for the morning. But really, she was making them because the night felt like it needed something warm. Some nights ask for candles. Some nights ask for blankets. And some nights ask for bread. Nora dusted the table with flour. The dough was soft beneath her palms. She pressed it gently, folded it over, turned it, and pressed again. There was no hurry. The rain outside kept time. Tap, 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 on the glass. The old clock above the door ticked quietly. The fire inside the stove shifted and sighed. Nora shaped the dough into small round rolls and placed them on a tray. Then she covered them with a cloth and set them near the stove to rise. The kitchen smelled of flour, honey, and warm iron. She wiped her hands on her apron and looked out the window. The garden was dark now. Only the nearest things could be seen: the stone path, the gate, the old apple tree, and the bird bath catching rainwater in its shallow bowl. Beyond that, the world disappeared into soft blue darkness. Nora liked evenings like this. They made the cottage feel smaller in the nicest way. As if the whole world had gently folded itself around the kitchen. She filled the kettle with fresh water and set it back on the stove. Then she took a blue teapot from the shelf. Inside, she placed chamomile, mint, and a tiny pinch of lavender. A bedtime tea. Not because she was ready for bed yet, but because the night was already beginning to whisper about sleep. Just as the kettle began to sing very softly, there came a gentle knock at the front door. Nora paused. The knock was not urgent. Not frightened. Just quiet. She crossed the little hallway and opened the red door. On the step stood a young traveler wrapped in a damp coat, holding a small bag against her side. Rain shone on her hair and shoulders. "Good evening," the traveler said softly. "I'm sorry to disturb you. I was trying to reach the inn, but the lane became so dark, and I think I may have taken the wrong path." Nora smiled kindly. "The inn is 2 lanes over," she said. "Easy to miss in rain like this." "I can keep walking," the traveler said, though she looked tired. "Nonsense," said Nora gently. "Come in and warm yourself first. The rain is in no hurry to stop, and neither should you be." The traveler smiled with relief and stepped inside. Her name was Lily. She had been visiting the next village and had started walking back later than she planned. The rain had turned the lane silver and confusing, and every stone wall had begun to look like every other stone wall. Nora took her coat and hung it near the stove. Steam rose softly from the damp wool. "Sit at the table," Nora said. "I've just made tea." Lily sat in the wooden chair by the window. Her shoulders slowly lowered, as if the chair had given her permission to rest. The kitchen light fell warmly across the table. Outside, the rain continued its gentle tapping. Nora poured hot water into the teapot. The scent of chamomile and mint rose into the air. She placed a cup before Lily, then one for herself. "Here," she said. "Hold this for a moment before you drink it. It warms the hands first." Lily wrapped both hands around the cup. The warmth moved into her fingers, then into her wrists, then up her arms. She took a small sip. The tea was mild and soothing. "I didn't realize how cold I was," she said. "That happens," Nora replied. "Sometimes the body waits until it is safe before it tells us it is tired." They sat quietly for a moment. The rain filled the silence. Not an empty silence. A comfortable one. The kind that belongs naturally to kitchens at night. After a while, Lily noticed the covered tray beside the stove. "Bread?" she asked. "Honey oat rolls," said Nora. "For morning. Though one or two may not survive the night." Lily laughed softly. It was a small laugh, but it warmed the room. Nora rose and took a soup pot from the stove. "I made vegetable soup earlier," she said. "There is plenty. Would you like some? I don't want to trouble you." It is no trouble to ladle soup into a bowl. So Lily accepted. Nora filled 2 bowls with soup and placed them on the table with thick slices of brown bread, butter, and a small dish of salt. The soup was simple. Potato, carrot, onion, celery, herbs, and barley. But it tasted like warmth itself. Lily ate slowly. Nora did not ask too many questions. She only asked enough to make Lily feel welcome. Where had she come from? Was the road very muddy? Did she prefer more tea? And bit by bit, Lily's voice became softer, slower, more rested. The kitchen became a small world of its own. There was the table, the 2 bowls, the teapot, the stove, the clock, the rain. Everything beyond the kitchen seemed very far away. Lily looked around the room with sleepy eyes. "It feels like time moves differently here," she said. Nora smiled. "It does, if you let it." "How?" "You stop checking whether the moment is useful." Lily thought about that. Outside, rain ran down the window. Inside, the fire shifted. The little rolls beneath the cloth were rising slowly. The herbs on the windowsill leaned toward the warm glass. Nora stood and lit one more lamp, a small one with a cream-colored shade. The kitchen glowed even more softly. The corners of the room became gentle and golden. On the shelf, the jars of oats and flour looked like quiet sleeping things. The copper pans reflected tiny shapes of light. A small cat, grey and round, appeared from under the chair near the stove. "This is Mabel," Nora said. Mabel stretched slowly, as if every part of her deserved special attention. Then she walked to the table, looked at Lily, and blinked. "Hello, Mabel," Lily whispered. The cat seemed satisfied and curled itself on the rug near the stove. For a while, no one spoke. Nora began to wash the bowls. The water in the sink made soft sounds. Lily stayed by the window, holding her tea. She watched the rain blur the garden. A drop of water slid down the glass, joined another drop, and together they moved slowly to the bottom of the pane. It reminded Lily of thoughts at bedtime. How they appear. How they join other thoughts. How they move. And how, if you do not follow them too closely, they disappear. Nora dried the bowls and placed them on the shelf. Then she checked the rolls. "They are ready," she said. She brushed them with a little milk, sprinkled oats on top, and slid the tray into the oven. Soon the kitchen smelled even warmer. Bread baking. Honey. Toasted oats. A little steam on the windows. Rain outside. Fire inside. Lily leaned back in her chair. Her eyelids felt heavy. Not heavy in an uncomfortable way. Heavy the way a blanket is heavy. Heavy the way warmth is heavy. Heavy the way sleep begins to gather gently at the edges of the mind. Nora noticed. "There is a little room upstairs," she said. "You are welcome to sleep here tonight and walk to the inn in the morning." Lily opened her eyes. Are you sure? Quite sure. The road will still be there tomorrow. Lily looked toward the window. The rain was steady. The night was deep. The kitchen was warm. Yes, she said softly. Thank you. After the rolls were baked and cooling under a cloth, Nora carried a candle and led Lily up the narrow stairs. The little room under the roof was simple. A bed with a patchwork quilt. A wooden chair. A small table with a water jug. A window looking out over the rain-dark garden. The ceiling sloped gently, making the room feel tucked away, like the inside of a storybook. Nora placed the candle on the table. I'll leave extra blankets here, she said. The rain may keep singing for a while. I like the sound, Lily said. So do I. Nora smiled and wished her good night. When the door closed, Lily stood quietly in the room. Below, she could still hear faint sounds from the kitchen. Nora moving softly. The stove settling. A chair being pushed in. The clock ticking. Then those sounds faded. And the rain became the main sound again. Lily changed into the soft night dress Nora had lent her and folded her clothes over the chair. She washed her face with cool water from the jug. Then she climbed into bed. The sheets were clean and cool. The blankets were warm and slightly heavy. The pillow smelled faintly of lavender, just like the tea. She lay on her side, facing the window. Rain tapped softly on the glass. The garden outside was almost invisible, but she could see a faint shine where puddles had gathered on the path. Downstairs, the last warm smell of baked rolls drifted up through the floorboards. Lily took a slow breath in and let it go. Her body was tired now, but safe tired. Comfortable tired. The kind of tired that does not pull or ache, but gently asks to be allowed to sleep. She thought of the kitchen below. The wooden table. The blue teapot. Mabel by the stove. Nora's calm voice. The covered rolls cooling on the counter. The way warm light had rested on everything. She thought of how strange and lovely it was that a wrong turn in the rain could lead to the right place. But even that thought became soft. Then softer. Then almost nothing. And now, dear listener, you do not need to follow the story closely anymore. You can let it become warm light and rain. A quiet kitchen. A glowing stove. A kettle resting on the hob. A cat asleep on the rug. Honey oat rolls cooling beneath a clean cloth. Rain tapping gently against the window. Let your body feel heavy. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your breathing be easy. In and out. Slowly in. Softly out. Imagine the warm kitchen on a cold night. Imagine the safe feeling of being indoors. The world outside cool and dark. The room inside golden and still. Nothing to hurry toward. Nothing to carry. Nothing more to do. Only rest. Only warmth. Only rain. The old cottage settles. The fire lowers itself into red coals. The clock ticks softly in the kitchen. Mabel sleeps by the stove. Nora turns down the lamp. And upstairs, beneath the quilt, Lily drifts deeper and deeper into peaceful sleep. The rain keeps falling. Gentle on the roof. Gentle on the garden. Gentle on the window. And with every soft sound, you can let go a little more. Let the day fade. Let the room become quiet. Let the story become a dream. You are safe. You are warm. You are allowed to rest. Sleep well, dear listener. The kitchen is warm. The night is calm. And all is well.